John Dramani Mahama says, I'll solve Accra's water crisis when elected president. Now, I'll quickly read that story for you. It's on citinewsroom.com. John Dramani Mahama, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, has unveiled a comprehensive strategy aimed at enhancing water accessibility in Accra. Now, Accra grappling with recent water shortages, which Ghana Water Company Limited has attributed to Accra's burgeoning population. Mahama, addressing the regional House of Chiefs during his Building Ghana tour, stressed the need for proactive measures to tackle the pressing water crisis. Now, highlighting the rapid urbanization of Accra, Mahama underscored the necessity of foresight in managing the water resources. Now, he pointed out that while significant strides were made in augmenting water capacity between Professor Mills' administration and his tenure, subsequent years witnessed a stagnation in expansion efforts. And so the story goes on there. He says here, and I quote, between Professor Mills' time and my time, we added 40 million gallons of water to Accra's water supply. In the last 8 years, there's not been a single drop of expansion in Accra's water supply. So why do you expect that water will be enough? This city is growing. And so after we added 40 million gallons, at least in 8 years, you should have added another 20 million gallons. We have started planning already ahead, that when we come into office, we're going to increase the water supply to Accra. Ellen, your response to this? It says you didn't add any 8 years.
That's untrue. At least when I was coming, I did speak to the people at Ghana Water. They said they had added some. I'm still asking them to send me the figures of exactly what they have done. I don't want to quote figures that might turn out not to be true. So I'm waiting for that reply. Okay. But definitely to say that nothing has been added in 8 years, that is a bit of an untruth. Definitely, some expansion has gone on. Some things have been added. And it's good that he's telling us what he wants to do. You know, some of us have been on his case for some time now, because we felt that after being home for 8 years, if you are returning, and let's not forget that he's a returning president. He says he's returning. You have been president before. You have been vice president before. So if you're coming back, at least we should have tangible stuff to talk about. I'm happy he's at least he said something. Whether he can do it or he cannot do it, that one is up to us to interrogate. But at least for once in his campaign, he has mentioned something that we can talk about. So he wants to do an expansion of Accra's water situation because the city is growing.
Yes.
We all know the city is growing. As I said earlier, for him to say that nothing has been added is an untruth. I'll get the details for you. What exactly are his plans? How is he going to do it? Because the last time he was in power, the issues of Galamsey were there. And when he left, the situation in which he left it, we have been trying to sort it out. The Ghana Water Company has come to tell us that Galamsey and its effects has increased their operational cost by almost more than 100%.
Yeah.
So now if they have to, at the time he was leaving, they were using 4 bags of chlorine or 4 whatever of chlorine to sort our water issues. Now they are using 20, 30, 40 just to get us water. What are his plans in those areas? How is he going to deal with the Galamsey menace when he couldn't deal with it in times past? Because that is the major thing that is worrying our water supply, not just in Greater Accra, in the central region. If you know the works in, is it Konyaku? The Konyaku Water Works. It supplies parts of Central Region, supplies parts of Greater Accra Region. The Wager Water Works too. Water Works, now encroachment and a lot of issues, which this government and the Ghana Water Company has been working on. So we need practicalities. What is he going to do? As I said, he's been in the system before. He's been here before. He should not just be talking. So yes, I'll expand it. I'll expand it by maybe creating another water treatment plant, maybe putting up a dam somewhere. What exactly is he going to do? Just saying it and giving us figures which are not even true does not solve the problem. So, Mr. Mahama,
You don't
please.
believe his figures are correct?
As I said, I'm just cross-checking it. His figures, I don't know about it. But for him to say that nothing has been added, that is what I want to challenge. And I'll get the figures before we leave here. But then practical solutions.
Yeah.
So you want to expand. This is not a promise. As I said, you've been here before. You know the situation.
Yeah.
What exactly are you going to do? What is it? Yeah, you expand. You expand to which end? How are you going to do it? By which means? Did he say that? Because in the story, you didn't read it.
He doesn't.
So please, I think he is good. He has mentioned that at least he wants to do something. And it's not just going around throwing insinuations and casting insinuations at people. He has told us what he wants to do.
Yeah.
How is he going to do it?
Yeah. What do you think about there's a story that showed up earlier towards the end of last year, where the Ghana Water Company was embarking on a revenue collection drive. This whole situation with our utility institutions almost playing catch up, as it were. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on this, because, of course, we'll get into the ECGs and the ECG story as well, and their own, trying to catch up. But I think that where we find ourselves as a country, we shouldn't be at this point where you're embarking on a revenue collection drive. You should be up to date with collection.
Well, there is. I haven't spoken to the Ghana Water Company for a while. As I said, I'm just trying to get some information from them. But ECG has been talking to, and then the CEO has also been out there explaining a lot of things. And if you remember from his interviews when he took over, he told us what he planned to do, including changing meters from the postpaid to prepaid, including they having to go after people to pay. Are they late in the day? Yes. But can it be done? Yes.
I think it can.
It can be done. And so far, I believe especially Electricity Company of Ghana, is actually putting themselves out there to make sure that they collect their monies. I mean, right now, I think one of the topics you mentioned,
we're going to be talking about that.
They have decided to disconnect certain hospitals.
Hospitals, yeah.
Over
91 of them.
the last time I heard they were in Parliament, they disconnected them. And Parliament went to pay.
Yes.
So it means most of these institutions, the monies are available, but because it is ECG and it is government institution, let's wait. So I'm happy that now they are taking the steps. As they are chasing the government institutions and the factories, they should also be chasing certain individuals in this country who steal power.
Okay.
And this morning I was discussing it with people. It's not the poor people who steal power.
No. Largely
it is not the poor people. I mean, the person is poor.
Yeah.
It is those who have 4, 5, 6 air conditions in their houses, and they have done illegal connections, and then they steal the power, and then they leave the power on. What is even more annoying, the whole day their air conditions and everything is on, and they are not there. And because they are not paying for it, and as much as we blame the ECG, we blame Ghana Water, they should go after their money. We should also be talking to ourselves as Ghanaians. Some of these attitudes, you wonder.
Okay. Quick bite on this one, and then we go for a break.
I am so surprised to hear from my sister that she doesn't know what John Mahama is bringing on board as far as the water situation is concerned. Let me put it on record that the statement that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has made is not a promise. It is a reaffirmation of his commitment to building the Ghana that we all want, the Ghana that our children, your children, will someday become proud of. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has done it before, and so when he says he will do it, based on what he has done in the past, that level of trust should be reposed in him. And since my sister is sort of painting the picture that she has no idea what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been able to bring on board in terms of, water, supply, I would want to take her through a bit of the things that has been done.
Let's do that quickly.
So quickly, in 2014 alone, the NDC under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has added 77.5 million gallons per day the daily water supply. These are public records. My sister can check. Accra Tema Metropolitan Area Water Supply Project, 9.2 million gallons of water per day. Teshi Desalination Water Project, 13.2 million gallons per
By
day.
the way, that water plant, is it still functional?
That is where the challenge is now. There is a challenge with it, and this government has not been able to do anything about it. And these are some of the reasons why we are confronted with the problems that we are confronted with today. If you recall, some years back, Adenta areas were struggling with water issues. It is the proactive, measures that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama took in the area of capacity addition to the water supply. That is why today Adenta is no more having the history, that particular history anymore. But I don't know your area, whatever it is. Achimota.
Yeah, we do have challenges.
That's challenges with water.
It's almost like rationing, so it comes like
I would have
twice
been happy if my sister Helen is able to mention the number of gallons that this government has been able
She said she
to
would
add.
tell us before the end of the show.
And I want to prove to her that, no, they have not. The NPP government between 2017, that they took over power till date, not even 1 gallon of water has been able.
Really?
They have not been able to. And I want my sister to prove me
Well,
wrong.
Ghana Water can tell us that, so we'll
We
find
don't
out.
want to prove you.
But we are discussing the issues.
Yes.
She is saying, John Dramani Mahama, what has he been able to do? And I'm proving to her, these are the contributions that he's made in the water sector. Whatever that her government has been able to do between the period of 2017 till date, she should be able to tell us.
Okay, fantastic. Somebody sent a message, actually, whilst we were on the break, and I just want to quickly read that. Ask that I omit the name, so I'll just read the message. On water, President Mahama, by close of 2016, added 25.4 million gallons of water to the national stock. Over $1 billion worth of investments in water increased both urban and rural water coverage from 58.5% in 2008 to 76% in 2015. Notable water projects include the Kpong Water Supply Expansion Project Phase 1, the Accra Tema Metro Water Supply Project, Teshinungwa Desalination Water Project, Wa Jambusi Water Project Supply Project, North Tong and Adaklu Anyigbe, as well, Konongo Water Project, Achimoda Akwetia Winneba Water Supply Projects, and Asante Mampong Water Project, etc. Through these projects, potable water has been provided for millions of Ghanaians who live without water for several years. Who have lived without water for several years. In the era of Kufuor gallons, the era of Kufuor gallons became a thing of the past under Mahama. The question asked here is, what is the record of Dr. Bawumia and Nanado on water? Let's deal with facts. That's the message that has come through. Now, because I've read this message, I'm going to give you a few seconds each. If you want to respond, otherwise we can
Of
go
course,
to the
I
next
did tell you
story.
that I wanted to
Yes.
get a few details for you. Fortunately, the details have come.
Okay.
So you've been asking what has been done in the last few years in Accra. The Greater Accra Metropolitan Area Sanitation and Water Project has been successfully implemented, and this is what it did. Of course, it came with support from the World Bank, $48 million support, and we have added 40,000 customer meters to it means the Ghana Water over the past years have added 40,000. Yes, we have digitalized it. And then when you're asking about water supplies, the Upper East Water Supply Project, and then that's supposed to produce 4.6 million gallons of water daily. Yeah. And it's supposed to supply water to Bolga, Navrongo, I can't mention it, Paga, and 30 other communities. I don't want to mention it and mention it wrong. Yeah. The salt curtain was done in 2018, and it has been commissioned. Okay. So already we are supplying 4.6 million gallons daily to those people in these areas,
yeah.
and it has been done. And then we moved to the, you did mention, whoever sent you the message said the Akim Odan Akwetia Winneba water supply project was done by the NDC.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't done by them.
Okay.
President Nana Akufo-Addo actually, what do we say it, commissioned that project in November 2018.
Okay.
So they didn't do it.
So
perhaps they might have started.
So is it possible
they
that
might have started the project or something,
completed,
but
yeah.
it was not definitely that those water gallons or so was not added to it. As we speak now, we already have a few projects in other towns. My own constituency and town included. That's the Wenchi Water Project. When we started it off in about 2017, it took a break. As we speak now, the workers and everybody is on site, and we are hoping the next few months they will be done.
Okay.
So when I did say that the former president did say an untruth by saying not even one drop has been added.
Water, yeah.
It is not true. Just in the northern part of Ghana, we are talking about 4.6 million gallons a day.
Yeah.
So if we want to do something, and as I said, there's nothing wrong with him saying he wants to do it. He's been there before. But he should give us practical ways. So what is it? Is it that the ones that he did that couldn't take off, he's going to continue? Or the salination project we are talking about.
The tissue
yes, yeah. I mean, a lot of issues with that project.
Yeah.
Because you're taking water from the sea and you're trying to take the salt out and make it usable for people. A lot of issues. People feel that a lot of thought didn't go through that whole project. Is that what he's coming to correct or what? That is why I asked when I started speaking, that he should give us practicalities.
All right.
But for you to say, now not even one drop has been added, that is an obvious untruth. My own constituency.
Okay. It's an example. All right, super. Do you want to respond to that quickly?
Yes, I want to quickly. When Helen was speaking earlier, she made mention of the fact that Galamsey, due to the menace of Galamsey, the water company of Ghana are struggling. You know, there's pressure on their processing plants.
Yeah.
I want to throw the question back to my sister. Who is the cause of Galamsey? She indicated that at the time the NDC was in power, Galamsey was a menace. And so John Mahama couldn't do anything about it. And now what difference is he going to make as far as the issue of Galamsey is concerned? You and I know we've been in this country between the period of 2013 to 2016, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was president, and then between 2017 till now, the issue of Galamsey, under whose watch has this become a canker in this country? What steps has been taken? We have members of this party, leaders of the NPP, who are deep in neck in the issue of Galamsey. So if today the water company of Ghana is struggling to, process water because of the contamination emanating from the activities of Galamsey, you cannot say that at the time of John Dramani Mahama, Galamsey was happening. And so what difference is he going to make? When we come to power, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will make sure that every single individual that is involved in this menace of Galamsey will be brought to book.
That's not true.
And measures will be put in place. It is true.
The man himself.
No, the fact that Nana Addo and Bawumia have not been able to deal with the corporates of Galamsey does not mean that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will not be able to do it. These are the steps he's going to make to ensure that we build a Ghana that at the end of the day, posterity after us will come and be proud of the Ghana we've left for them.
That is definitely not true. Former President John Dramani Mahama is the last person to do anything about Galamsey. In 2020 elections, he went round in the Galamsey areas. If you remember, there are videos of him saying that when he comes, he's actually going to release the people who have gone through the legal system and are in jail for engaging in Galamsey. He said it plain on video that he released them.
I've seen
How
that.
can you tell me that such a person would do anything about it?
Okay.
And under his watch was when you were going to Dunkwao, the Offin River, the Ankoba River, people with chamfines were actually sitting on the river and actually doing Galamsey. His own ministers gave up.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's the same old person, as I keep on saying. That same old. What exactly is he going to do new?
Fair enough, but even as we travel through the country on the Heritage Caravan, I must say that all the water bodies are dirtier and murkier than they've ever been. I've been through around the country at least a couple of times, and I've never seen them this filthy, honestly. So we do need to do something as a nation about this problem.